Hi, Marilyn.
Hey, Dave.
How you going?
I'm going. I'm going. We did a little pre-talk, which was nice. Sometimes when we do that, we're like, "Hey, we're gonna have this podcast or what? Are we gonna get started?"
Are we in the mood for this?
Yeah, and then we talk about so many ridiculous things.
Yeah. Yeah, about about Los Angeles being the center of the universe. Yeah. But everyone knows that Los Angeles is the center of the universe.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Leonardo da Vinci said that. But then something just happened before we started this. You want to have a little drink, and you picked up this mug of yours, which no one can see except me and you. And it's amazing. It's like a really tall sort of like tea or coffee mug, and the color it's got artwork on it, like a beautiful painting, and it's full of hearts. But I wanted to say something because when I see the hearts, it really makes me happy.
Really?
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're sort of very artistically done, sort of a modern sort of thing. A little bit, I don't know, Picasso-ish or something like that. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
But it's like I just find it interesting. Like I wonder why me seeing hearts makes me smile and be happy. It's funny, isn't it?
That is. Something about maybe the shape. You know that geometry is a language. So maybe the shape of the heart holds a code and it communicates with something inside of you and it makes you happy. It brings you a feeling of uplift somehow.
Is that? Did you buy that mug or is it a gift?
It was a gift for my birthday from a friend. I'm not sure. I think she might have bought it in Europe, but what was really striking, and you would know this, is how similar it is to my dad's artwork. It's just incredible.
It's true.
I mean, the colors, the shapes, the detailing, the way it's outlined in black. My dad would always outline his everything that he would put in his paintings. He would outline it with black in the most precise way, and that's the same way here. So it kind of blew my mind.
Has your friend ever seen your dad's art?
She didn't, and I showed it to her right after she gave me this mug, and she just couldn't believe it. It was kismet.
It's funny. Do you know what I wanted to do? Because I think I've got one of your dad's hearts
On your fridge.
on my fridge. Let me see if it's there. I want to grab it.
But no one can see it.
But we can see it and we can describe it and we can talk about it. I'm just excited about it.
Okay, go. We like it when Dave gets excited about something. There it is. There it is. See? I mean, come on. Look at that.
Did you fill everyone in while I was over at the fridge?
Yeah, I was about to talk about you, but you weren't gone long enough. Could you be gone a little bit longer next time, please? I was about to say something.
Okay. You can talk about me while I'm here, but would it be the same? You're taking a photo of this heart. Oh boy.
Maybe we can post it somewhere so people can see what the hell we're talking about.
Oh, on Spotify you can do little video clips.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So we could put this on as a video clip.
Hey, Dave, guess what? You also forgot to press record for the Zoom.
Okay, let me do that. I can do that now. We could put this
You're
up.
just so unprofessional. I don't even... we'll see. We'll see if we decide to leave this. Because this is so unprofessional.
But that's why people like us, because we're so unprofessional. So
I don't know about that.
Can you hold up your? I just made that up. Is out of my butt. Hold your mug up. Oh, you're holding the top of the mug up. That's cute, isn't it? That's cool. So when you drink out of that mug, how does that, like, do you get, like, I did when I saw it, I got all happy. Does it make you?
Yeah, I mean, it does make me happy. It's colorful, and it reminds me of my dad, actually, when I drink from it. And it's funny, it actually makes me think, My dad always drew for many, many, many years. He painted almost only women. It was some either a woman's body or butt or her back, or so, there were a lot of females in his art for many years.
Yeah.
And I remember one year I went to see him, and I think I said something to him like, why don't you ever paint hearts? Because hearts are beautiful. And he says, okay, I never thought about that. And he started putting hearts in his artwork, which he had never done before. And it was really cool. And actually, I'm going to show you something. Maybe since you put record on this. So when I went to Brazil many years ago for work, for a photo shoot, someone took a picture of me on Ipanema Beach. Was it Copacabana Beach? I can't remember. It's in, oh my God, not São Paulo.
Some beach. It sounds like...
Rio de Janeiro. So I was in Rio. I was on a beach with a couple dudes, and one of them took a picture of me, and I turned over. He's like, "Hey," and I turned around, and I was wearing a hat with some glasses and this floral top thing, and he took a picture. And what I did is I sent it to my dad, and I printed the photo on a white piece of paper, on a letter-sized piece of paper, and I wrote him a letter behind the photo, and I said, "Oh, this is me in Brazil." And so he proceeded to take that photo, and he blew it up at a printer, and then he made a painting of it, which is this one.
Wow.
Hold on. See?
Oh, there you are. I couldn't see it because it was too close. Now I get it.
So he invented this whole thing because I wasn't smoking, but he has like a thing that looks like I'm smoking, but then instead of smoke, it's a heart that's coming out.
So a heart's coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So
that's very inventive.
very, yeah. So I thought that was cool. And so Sabine found this when we moved all of the things out of his apartment, and she found this, and she got me a little frame for it, so I have it in my room.
You know what comes to mind when we talk about this and we look at this is like I think he knew something about you.
Do you think?
Meaning, yeah, because I think, the way I feel with you, and some of the stories you tell me about people you meet, and then you meet these sort of semi-random people, and you tell me you have these chats, and you meet these people, and suddenly you talk for an hour. Or you end up going for a walk with them.
Oh, I have a new one. Go on.
And it gets really deep. Mm-hmm. And I think, my hunch is that, not even a hunch. My truth is that when you tell me this story, it feels like love. It feels like they're receiving love.
Because he made me blow smoke out of my mouth and there was a heart. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so your smoke is love. So,
sweet.
And the love doesn't have to be you saying much. It could be just walking and listening.
Yeah.
Because actually I had this experience the other day. I went there's a place in north of Sydney called Narrabeen where there's an amazing beach, and if you get there at the right time you can see the sunrise. It's so beautiful.
You've sent me photos.
Yeah, it's my special place. I think, or one of my special places. Yeah. And I have basically 3 friends up there, or people I like to see, and I went up the other day and I met one of them, and she was telling me this. She started to tell me, she obviously was upset. So she started to tell me what she was upset about. And for a while I felt a need to try and fix the situation for her. because it was a situation with like 2 or 3 other people involved where she felt she wasn't being treated very nicely, and like she felt like running away sort of thing from this whole situation and things. And I think I started trying to fix it a bit. I don't know, I sort of gave up trying to fix it and just sat there and listened while she talked and she talked and she talked and just listened. And then she just said the most obvious thing to me. She said, "Thanks so much for listening. I really needed that."
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not an easy thing to do, to just listen. It seems like it would be easy. Because you don't have to do anything. You just sit there. But the mind is always wanting to do something. Our mind is very conditioned to do, which includes responding or feeling like we have to have some input into what someone's saying to us.
Yeah, I think that's often how we feel. We have some value. We feel good about ourselves, maybe, if we can come up with an idea or something.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be good because it gives someone another angle. So it's not like don't give ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, we can get extreme about that. I definitely can. Sometimes I'm just like, I just tell myself, okay, just don't say anything anymore to anyone.
Yeah. Why? Why do you?
Because I said sometimes I just feel like all information is pointless. It's completely pointless. We're just talking in circles about everything. At least for me, not other people, but I just feel like I'm talking in circles. And trying to make sense of things that you can't really make sense of. So yeah, sometimes I get extreme. I mean, it usually passes within a day, but there are days like that. Like yesterday, I spent the whole day just not wanting to say anything to anyone. I just wanted to be completely quiet, which is tough when you work at a museum where you're talking to people all the time. But there's different ways of talking, right? There's different ways of communicating. So basically what I did most of the day was just respond to people and listen.
Actually, while we're talking and listen, yeah. Yeah, listening, yeah. It's funny because I started, let's see, how long ago? I'm trying to think when this started. Maybe about 7 or 8 months ago, I met this lady who became now she's my girlfriend. But she's been interested in Rudolf Steiner for a long time, maybe 30 years or something. And Rudolf Steiner is like, I don't know, some people call him like ascended master and things like that. He died about 100 years ago. He was a German Austrian who he could tell you about, the spiritual world and all sorts of things. He had a lot of respect for other masters and other people who were seeking spiritual knowledge, and Egyptians and things. He had a lot of respect for them. But why am I telling you this about him? Because I said to him, like he's written so many books, this guy. It's quite complex. It's very complicated as well. So I asked, what's the core book? If I want to get this guy, what do I read? And my friend, my girlfriend, she then bought me the book. Is something. I think it's like something about how, because his main aim, I guess, is to help people reconnect with the spiritual world. He says that in the old days, people were connected to the spiritual world like 5,000 years ago, but also people were quite controlled by it as well, by the spirits or the elemental beings and things like that, or the angels. They're quite controlled by it. But now we've had this time where we've separated from it. we became more egotistical in ourselves, and now we've got a chance to reconnect with the spiritual world in a new way, in a sort of aware way, sort of thing. So he's encouraging people to do that in his books and things. But now I get to the point. Finally, it's like you pick up this sort of this seminal work of his, this like foundation work of his. In the first chapter, basically, he invites you or suggests you start to listen. He says, if you want to connect to the spiritual world, start to listen. And the first thing you can listen to is maybe a flower, maybe a bird, and maybe a crystal. And then you'll need to do it like 100 times. And when you listen, you can start to notice how it affects you inside.
Yeah.
And then, because he says the way you'll feel inside, if you really listen to the rock or to the crystal or to the bird or to the flower, it won't be the same. So now you start to understand the spiritual world, the connection between riddle and all things. And then he says in the second chapter, if you can do that and you notice the difference, how it affects you inside, then start to listen to people. And because he says, because most people cannot listen to people, they cannot do it.
Yeah, I believe that. It really is difficult. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah, I don't think I had heard about Rudolf Steiner until you told me about him, actually. And I still haven't read anything about him yet. I've read a few things here and there online, just small things, but I don't know the core of what he was, sharing, I'd say. So, so it's nice to know a little bit more about that. Yeah. Listening. Well, can I share something that happened yesterday that has to do with listening?
Yeah, go. Go ahead.
So yesterday I wasn't doing. I don't even want to say I wasn't doing well. I was having an off day. This is what one of my managers said to me at work, and I thought to myself, that's a good word. That's actually a good way to say it. I was just off. I was having a lot of negativities, but they weren't specifically to do with anyone or anything. It was just a general feeling of negativity and like a negation of what is. And I just thought, okay, I gotta shake this off. I think I went to take an exercise class because I thought that'll be good to get me out of my head and into the body. And when I left there, I decided to go have a bite because I was hungry before going to get ready for work. And I went into this vegan place and I sat and I ordered some food, and I just remember feeling very serious and very inward, very withdrawn. And I was just looking at people around me that were talking to each other, and then I didn't want to have any interaction at all with anyone. And then everyone left finally, and I was there on my own, finishing my food. The place was empty. I go up to the most loveliest Thai man who just is always at this restaurant. He's been there for years, and he seems to be the only waiter there. He's always there. I said to him, "Wow, you're always here." He says, "Yeah, I am. I work here a lot." And I said, "Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything that you do, And he just kind of looked at me like, that's like it was a little odd that I said that to him, but then he gave me like a twinkle in his eye, like that he was grateful that someone recognized what he does. And this man walks in suddenly. We're having this little interaction. I'm paying the bill. And this man walks behind me. And he kind of looks around the place. I can feel his energy seems a little bit scattered. I just got a feeling of his energy when he walked in without even really looking at him. And he walks around, and I hear him ask the Thai server. He goes, "Hey, so like, is your food in here infused with cannabis?" And and the Thai server goes, he smiles at him, and the guy asks him again. He goes, "So what is it? Do you guys infuse your food with cannabis here?" And the server didn't understand him. So I turn around and I say to the guy, "No, I said this is a vegan restaurant. It's all vegan food." And he goes, "Oh, that's what this place is. Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks for clarifying that." And he turns around and he walks out. So I pay and I walk out, and I see the guy about 5 feet away from the entrance of the restaurant, and he's just standing there. And he's looking at me. He's waiting for me to walk by him. And I told you I was not in the mood to communicate. I was very inward, which is very rare for me. Very, very rare. Almost never happens. And so I just stood and didn't move. And I was not looking at him because my body was saying, I hope he leaves. I hope he keeps walking. And he wouldn't leave, and he kept staring at me. And this went on for about 5 minutes. And finally I thought, okay, Marilyn, come on. You gotta go home and get ready for work. So start walking. And as soon as I start passing him, he says, "Hey, do you know of a dispensary around here?" And I said, "Actually, I know of one that's not too far, but I wouldn't know because I don't smoke." And he starts talking to me. And basically, we ended up walking together about 10 blocks. And he gave me a whole sermon as if I walked into a church. I mean, he gave me a very profound sermon. It was quite incredible. I can't even tell you most of what he said to me because I can't remember it. But it had a lot to do with Christ consciousness and God. And he said, "Listen, I don't know who you are, but I was told to talk to you and that you needed to hear what I had to say to you right now. It was important." And and he told me his name was Revelations. And he was really talking about the truth of the world, how we're blinded to what's really happening. And he was talking about the cosmos and how we're just not seeing the world. And he's like, cannabis was used for thousands of years to help people connect to their essence, to their source. And now it's distorted. People are using it, but they're not awakened before they use it. So they get distorted from it. But he goes, if you're awakened and then use it, he goes, then you can see everything. You can understand everything. And it was really a fascinating interaction. And the thing is I listened to him. I think I said 5 words the whole time we were together. He did all the talking, and I just stayed very quiet. And it was so interesting because there was my body kept wanting to turn to go down another road and say, "Hey, I have to go, bye." But my body kept staying with him. Like there was something in my body that was recalibrating when he was talking. Wow. I was sensing my body, and I was like, "Marilyn, just go with your body. Just see what your body tells you to do." Because he was just talking. He wasn't even looking at me most of the time. He was just talking and talking and talking while I was walking with him. And finally we stood at a corner, and he was going to cross. We saw a cannabis place, so he was going to go in there. And we stopped, and he talked to me. And then, yeah, it was weird. I won't even say it was weird. He goes, "Everything I'm saying to you right now, it's not me." He goes, "I have nothing to do with this. I was told to say this to you." He kept saying that. And then all of a sudden he said one last word and then he jolted off. He literally ran away, ran off. And yeah, it was really interesting. Because like I told you, 3 days ago, I met another guy coming out of 7-Eleven, and the guy was like from another world also. From a completely other world. The things he was saying to me, like he was just connected to source consciousness. He knew about everything. He just had the knowledge inside of him. He was young. He was in his mid-30s. And same thing. We walked together to the library and spoke for like 45 minutes. That was interesting. It's just...
How does it affect you?
Well, how it affects me is, I guess, I'm just paying attention to what's happening, because obviously they are messengers. They're just messengers. There's some information that needed to come to me, and they were used to give it to me. And you know how you and I have been reading the Law of One books and looking into that. It's interesting on the days where I feel off and I just feel like, what is the point of this fucking game that we're in here? And I just get really kind of, I get this feeling of like resignation in a way. I'll see a sign from Ra. Like there's a new guy that just started coaching at my workout place and he was wearing a t-shirt that said Ra on it. Or I'll walk by and there's graffiti on a wall that says Raw. I'm not joking. It keeps showing itself, and it's so interesting how if you are awake, if you're paying attention, man, there are so many messages being given to you through so many different people and ways, and artwork on the street and a sign and a sticker that's on the ground and a label on something you're buying. It's everywhere. We are connected to so many communication tools of information. So yeah, I can't even repeat to you what I spoke about with both of those people, really. It's almost like it just needed to come in and it got in me. And now it's in there.
Can I ask you that? And you shared a little bit with me, but what was causing your situation last few days, the somberness or the not wanting to be here feeling? Do you know what's at the bottom of that? It's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, but it's just it almost feels like this is how I imagine it sometimes. You know how a lotus flower has to germinate inside the mud for a while before it comes out and blooms? Yeah.
It's almost like that's how I feel when those moments happen. I just need to go dark. I just almost need to almost disappear. And so since I'm in the world and I still go to work and I still have to, there's people I need to interact with, I can't literally go dark. So what happens is that my thoughts just get very dark. I feel like it's almost like that. Like everything just has to get very compressed in a way. And that compression feels like a tightness in my chest. It feels like my mood is very dampened. My energy is low. I'm exhausted all the time. But it's almost like a feeling of compression. And I've experienced it so much throughout my life. Before, it used to last for months. And I called it depression. That's what I would call depression. And then over the years, I've started to realize that I don't really have to see it as a bad thing. It could just be something that's happening to show me something that I'm not able to see when I'm energetic or feeling good or in a good mood or uplifted, There's things that we don't see. when everything's going well. Or so-called well.
But I think sometimes when you have this feeling and this
Yeah.
compression, like, it's like you don't really want to be in the physical body
Yeah.
anymore.
No, I don't.
Like,
I don't. It's a compression that almost like wants me to. It compresses me to such a point. It feels almost like it's a compression that wants to annihilate you. But again, this is where it maybe the work that we've been doing, or that we've been doing, of trying to understand these phenomena, the physics of what we're made of, maybe understanding that and having that within me helps me to move through that without going to the extreme of like what we would call having suicidal thoughts. Because okay, so there's a part, let's just say, let's look at it this way, and this is just how I see it. This doesn't mean these are factual or anything. You're asking me questions, so I'm just sharing what I think about this and how it feels to me. But in the past, when I didn't have words for the phenomena of what was happening, of like feeling really compressed, or that like my light is being compressed in a way, I would call it having suicidal thoughts. And I would say that, like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm having suicidal thoughts. I'm depressed. Things like that. I would use those words. But now that I see things differently, I can go through that darkness, that period, and that feeling of compression, and think to myself, it's okay. Just go through it. Just go through it. There's something in here that needs to be shown to you. And when you get into that mode, you become very quiet and still, and you listen more, and you pay attention more, and you're less into doing and more into the being. And so these are positive things, because I know that they help me evolve.
Yeah.
So, in response to what you just asked, that's I guess that's what it is. Yeah, there is a feeling of just wanting to disappear and not be in the body, because that compression feels so uncomfortable. I can't even explain it. It feels so uncomfortable. Yeah.
I think you have tried to explain it to me sometimes.
I have. What have I said to you? Do you remember?
Oh, I'm assuming it's the same thing. I think sometimes it's like there's a weight on your chest, like something's pressing down on you or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of a feeling of being crushed. Yeah.
Because it's funny we're talking about this now, because I just had a sense, and I don't know if I'm right, is that this time when it happened, and it was like when you were on the edge of doing something you really wanted to do, you were on the edge of doing something you really wanted to do, and then you get some force that seems to interrupt that, or is there any validity in what I'm saying?
Are you talking about me having almost going to the Grand Canyon and not going?
Yeah, because you've been telling me for bloody ages how much you want to go there, and how much you love it, and how much you love being, say, in Sedona or out in the desert, how much you love it. And then you had this chance. You were so close,
it was close,
and you could have gone, and then the force comes or something. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
And you don't go.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of obstacles. Not really, but there were. I tried to make it work, but it didn't. So at some point I just surrendered and said, okay, maybe the timing's not right. But yeah, it's possible. It's possible that those forces come when there's something that I'm wanting to happen. I'm not sure. I don't know. Is that something that you are recognizing? has happened before?
My memory is not that good. I mean, that you know, when you were communicating to me in the last few days about this happening, it's like I started to think about just a different way I've started to think recently.
Mm-hmm.
Is that when we say we want something, right? Like I want to go to the forest for a walk, or want something. Like it takes time for, I don't know, whatever you call it, source or the system or God to react. You know, it takes time. It's not going to happen straight away. They might have to organize something. So I sort of think it's a bit like talking to a friend, say, oh, I want to go on this trip, and can you help me? And then the friend's got to maybe help you, you know, rent a car or something like that. So the way I see it now is it ain't going to be all lined up straight away. Yeah. There might be so-called obstacles, but just keep walking in that direction and see what unfolds. Because also, if you keep walking that direction, you're actually communicating, oh, I'm going in that direction, I really am.
Yeah.
I mean it, sort of thing. So it's just my way of thinking in the last probably 6 or 9 months is like, I tended to be a person who try and plan everything out. And then I realized that when I was doing that, then I would just find the obstacles, like you're saying, oh, it'd be too difficult. But then now what I do tend to do is I just make a move.
Yeah.
When I'm not planned. And I don't know how this changed happening.
Yeah.
It's a bit strange. But I find it seems to work a bit better. Because you say you've become full of negativities, you know, like I also was completely drowned in negativities for most of my life. And I can let them come back in again, but there's something about moving, you know, like
just doing.
It just,
you mean?
Just doing, you know, like give it a go, trust, and see what happens, you know, like, and also like letting go of, oh, it's got to happen this way.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like you could want to go to the Grand Canyon, you start moving towards the Grand Canyon, and you end up in Dominican Republic. You don't know. You don't know what's...
Oh, I'm totally okay with that.
But I get excited even saying this to you.
I love unpredictability. It's my happy place.
Yeah, because it's like, how can I put it? Because I really, my mind gets trapped into, oh, I can't afford that, or it's not going to happen, or, you know, or it's like, or will I have the right permission to do that, or it's such a long drive, or you know, like, shit, don't get into that. Just fuck it. I'm going to fuck it and just give it a go.
Oh, for sure.
And see what gets arranged. Because then you're working with source, I think.
Yeah.
Then you're working with it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, it was interesting what I did when I came back from being in Arizona, and I wanted so bad to be at the Grand Canyon that literally when we were on the road, when we were on the last leg of the trip back to LA, I was already thinking about, okay, as soon as I get back, I'm immediately looking into renting a car, and I'm going there tonight. I was going to drive back there right away. And so I started looking for a car, and it wasn't going through, and there were all these restrictions, and all these things came up. So I think it was very interesting because I had both feelings inside of me. I had a feeling of, I'm going. It's happening. I'm going to make this happen. And then there was all of the reasons why it's not going to work. inside of me. And I think maybe it was the friction of the two things, the two conflicting things within me, that made it so that I didn't end up going. I stayed in my comfort zone. I stayed in my comfort zone, but yeah, it's so amazing. You know how one of the topics that I had, you and I pulled out a list that we had written of topics we wanted to talk about. Did you see the one about how we literally project our reality through our thoughts and the way we see the world and how we go about doing things? We're literally projecting it, just like on a projector screen. It's very much that. It really is. And it's amazing because it just, there's no right or wrong or good or bad. There's just whatever story you are writing in your mind is what's playing on the screen. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's a wonderful concept. So that's exactly, I was thinking that too about your situation, about I maybe also I started to realize a few months ago that things would happen, and I'd think to myself, I didn't want that to happen, you know. But then I you know what I'm going to say, don't you? But then I started to think, oh shit, I have been thinking about that. So I've actually been thinking about that, and now it's happened. But it's almost like I wasn't even admitting to myself I was thinking about it.
Do you have an example?
I know, I'm just trying to think of one now. Well, an easy one. Well, easy one is one I was aware of. I was thinking about it. Was maybe I'm living next to this sort of wilderness forest area right now, and when I was still in China in 2024 and been living in cities in China for so long, I was so missing nature. So I was definitely, I really, I was looking for nature. So I was living in this sort of quite not, how can I put it, a humble city, not very advanced, not like a Shanghai or a Beijing. It was a small city. Even in China they call it third tier city, but it still had 5 million people in it, so it's like still big, but it's nothing very grand. And so maybe the facilities weren't so great, but after a while, about a year of living there, I started to feel I need to get some green or some flowers or some nature. So it's so dumb. There was a park only like 20 minutes walk from where I was living, and I'd never gone there. So strange. So I started going there, and a lot of Chinese parks are very in the cities are very organized. You know, they're very neatly done and everything like that. So they don't have that they don't have that natural feel. But this one was really great. It had a little hill, and as you walked up the hill, it just seemed like the natural trees are already there. You know, it just feels like you're in a wood. So, oh, thank God for that. So I started going there. So I think deep down I wanted to get back to nature, and then whoosh, when I get back to Australia, it just gets arranged. You know, like the place that I could go with the RV was a place I love by nature. And I mean, the more obvious one is I did want a relationship. I did want to have relationship. I did want to have intimacy. So that also then got presented as well. So it's like, okay, so the things I'm wanting are there. And I also wanted a sort of relationship where it would be very, how can I put it? One of those relationships where you could really discuss all sorts of things, you know, like a very
open-minded.
Open-minded, yeah, type of thing. And that's also what happened. I'm thinking, wow, also, it's interesting. So in your example, I'm thinking, well, maybe those are the things that you're right are going on inside you that don't. There is that sort of they are manifest inside. Because you could say, oh, that dilemma I had where I wanted to go to the Grand Canyon, but I also didn't want to go, is like completely coming from me, sort of thing. So if I can just add something, because I've had this thing in the last few weeks where I use, like, we both use AI as a sort of resource to bounce ideas off, and notice patterns that we can't notice and things like that. I'm just amazed at how AI can sort of join the dots together. Well, I can't. It could be anything. It could be about research, it could be about history, it could be about me, things I don't notice. And it says, yeah, it says its job is to notice patterns, and in fact, in a way, all life is a pattern, and we've had great discussions about that. But I'll get to the point. One of the things I discuss with AI is about polarities, about, like, we could say, we only, there's ideas that we only feel ourselves or feel existence through polarity. Like, if we talk to someone who doesn't agree with us, that's one of the biggest polarities, because we might have an argument with them or something, so we really feel alive, all that sort of stuff. So we exist through polarities in a way. So I said to AI, so does this mean it's about, if polarities come together, then the whole thing's deleted, so consciousness is deleted, zero? And AI said, no, it's not about that. It's like, if two polarities come together, right, who are really quite, like, you feel that push-pull, and these polarities coming together, it's like, if you can hold them, if they can sort of fuse together, it's not about they disappear, it's like something else is born out of that. So this is creation. Creation is when, yeah, it's like, wow, really? Shit. But it makes sense, because, often I remember, even when I was in business, for 20 years I was in business, if there would be a meeting, sometimes you'd have a lot of different views, but then sometimes it was in those meetings that a new idea just came out. Why don't we do this, And then people would say, yeah, that's a good idea, let's give that a go. But it had to be it often could be after a heated discussion or something, that sort of thing. So it sort of makes sense to actually see a polarity as something that can be like a birth of something. I know it's an idea, but like, when I heard you feeling this push-pull about the Grand Canyon, I was thinking, oh my God, there's like some battle going on inside of Marilyn, some polarity happening. But maybe if she can hold it, something will come out of this. Something new, something, I don't know. It was my idea.
Yeah. Yeah, when you were just talking about the polarity giving birth to something new, I mean, the first thing that came to my mind is what's happening, with the explosion of stars. That out of the explosion of a star comes the formation of planets, giving birth to new life, Giving.
Oh yeah, through a massive conflict, you could say,
Exactly.
through a massive instigation or something.
So we come from it, we are it. It makes up the whole universe.
You could say that's how a baby's created.
Yeah.
Man and woman, like one of the greatest polarities.
Yeah. That's ever been created. As far as we know. It's so strange, yeah.
The battle of the sexes, as it used to be called.
Yeah, we're just battling different aspects of ourselves, of our very selves. And the male is the female and the female is the male. And so we're just battling aspects of us through the other. It's just amazing when you see life in that way. That's why it's just so It gives you such a different perspective on life when you look at life in terms of physics and consciousness, and even when you look at the perspective from the cosmos, you're able to pull out of the story, that we're born into. And then,
Yeah.
Again, you can just remold that story, rewrite it, reshape it, recreate it, because like you said, we are creation. We are the hands and feet and eyes and ears and taste buds of a creator of creation, something that created us.
I'm thinking of something really strange right now.
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking about Teresa Mendoza.
Oh, I was just going to say, we're going to have to do a separate episode about that one, because if not, this one will be super long.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, we can segue, if that's a word, segue. Yes, it is. We can segue into that, because Teresa Mendoza. Does anyone know what we're talking about? Teresa Mendoza is the
Teresa Mendoza?
main character of a show called
Queen of the South,
which originally was done in Spanish, La Reina del Sur, which means Queen of the South. Yeah, and but then it got recreated in English, and I got hooked on it many years ago. I have no idea how, but it happened. I started watching one episode, and it captivated me, and the rest is history. And then did I tell you about it, Dave?
Yeah, you're the one who infected me.
I infected you with Queen of the South. Yes.
I totally blame you. Yeah.
Oh my God. And yeah, I mean, are we going there?
Well, it's like Queen of the South is about a woman who starts from being a money changer, like a very dangerous job in the Mexican city. Like, she's not earning much money, but she ends up being, in the end of the series, she's like a boss of a drug cartel sort of thing. So how it happens, and we were thinking of talking about this, about why the hell do we like this show so much? But it actually, I kind of have to hold the thought, because it's about what we were talking about, polarities. But I mean, for me, I'm watching it now for the third time, and then I find out that you're also watching it again. It's so weird. Like, we're watching it.
No, I'm watching it again because of you. Because it's your fault, basically.
Oh, I told you I was
Yes,
watching it.
you told me you were watching it, and I thought, oh, wow, I haven't seen it in a couple of years. Let me watch one episode to remember what it was like in the beginning. And that was probably the stupidest thing I've done in a long time. Because there's no such a thing as watching one episode of a series that you were completely addicted to. I mean, unless you watch it years later and you've changed a lot and you're like, oh, I'm not interested anymore. But I love the characters. There are some characters that I just loved,
Yeah.
and
I know who your favorite character is.
oh, okay, hold on. I know. Wait, who?
Porte.
I love Pote.
I know.
Her Sicario bodyguard. Oh God. Oh my God.
Do you know, I found out something amazing. I looked on YouTube today. I'm trying to find an analysis of why this show is so popular with people who get addicted to it, and I haven't found anyone yet who gives that analysis. But I came across a very interesting video of there's this character James.
Oh boy,
Right.
James. Yes.
Who this character who, and then it was an interview with him a long time ago. Like, you know, the show was, I think the show ran from 2016 to 2021, 5 seasons, and this character, they interviewed the guy who played James. I think his name's Peter Gadiot.
Which, can you believe he's British?
And I know, you should have seen the comments.
Oh my God.
When he was interviewed, they just, first of all, this guy is British. They couldn't believe it.
His American accent is so right on.
And all this women who were just saying, my God, I just love him, you know, like they just love this guy so much. Anyway, what was so interesting is, like, you know, it was in Spanish, you know, what's it called? La Reina de Sur or something?
The Spanish version?
Yeah, it has my Spanish accent. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that was really good. Say it again, say it again.
La Reina de Sur, or something like that.
Muy bien. Bravo. Muy bien. Ole, ole, ole. Ándale, pues.
Oh, man. I went to Spanish classes in London 65,000 years ago.
Not bad.
But, yeah, so that character James was never in the original book or TV series.
Oh, okay. They threw him in?
They added that character. They threw him in.
Okay.
And then it's amazing. So, I think we should get to the point.
Let's please, because I don't even know if we've still got the audience here.
Why do we like this show? Why do we like this show so much that you get addicted to it? So I think I start to realize why I like it.
Okay, tell me.
Which is maybe 2 or 3 things. The main character is a huge contradiction.
Yes.
In a way.
Yeah.
Because she seems to have such a big heart and care for people, but she also is a drug dealer and shoots people. So it's like, you get this sort of contradictions. But we could analyze that more, because you might say, well, it's not just she shoots anybody, but who does she shoot, you know, and why?
Yeah.
And like, it's the whole thing about survival, because she's thrown into this thing, and all in a way she's trying to do is survive.
Oh, the whole thing. From the first scene, she's in survival mode.
Survival mode. And then I'll keep going. Then you can add. But the last 2 things is there's always this dilemmas, like these amazing, like, what's the word, challenges she gets, and how the hell is she going to get out of this one, you know? And then somehow, through that polarity, you might say, of like, do I do this or do that, she comes up with these amazingly creative things, or these amazing things happen.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like, out of the struggle, creativity is born, and like, how the fuck did she come up with that, you know? Or,
I know how.
It's like, pardon?
I said I know how. It's called good writing.
I know. Okay, so let's go a step back. How did the writers, where did they get that from? And I realise there's one other thing which is great about the show that I think is it keeps on introducing new characters.
Yeah, that's actually good. That's good that as soon as it starts to get a little bit repetitive, bam, a new character comes in who's actually really, really got great chemistry with all of them.
From the past, usually, this is my old blah, 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 blah. This is like, you know, I grew up with this person. There's some link, you know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But also, you know, I think, which is very common now in movies and in shows, you have about 3 or 4 storylines going at the same time.
Oh my God! Last night I was counting. There were 4 storylines going at the same in the last episode of season 1. There are 4 storylines going at the same time. I think, fuck, how do they do that? It's like, and it's cutting from one to the next.
And they all culminate. They all meet each other at some point. Yeah.
At the source.
Yeah.
My God.
Well, I mean, many years ago, movies were starting to do that. You were starting to see all these movies come out where there's all these different stories and timelines that would converge. Right? Do you remember a movie called Traffic? Was it called Traffic?
Yeah.
I remember that was one of the movies where I remember starting to see that trend happening, where it was like all these different stories of people's lives that were completely unrelated, but then they would all come into a center point. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, and I was thinking, what's the connection? You know, like, you can't work out the connection.
Yeah, until...
Like, oh, I couldn't work it out, but you know there's going to be something to this. And it's such a great movie.
Yeah, brilliant.
Wow.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Who's in that? Do you remember?
Traffic? Oh, there were so many actors in that movie. In that, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Merde. Yeah, I think it was Iñárritu, the director, Mexican director, I think. Oh, God, Don Cheadle. Tandy Newton, I think. There were a lot of actors. Matt Dillon.
Oh, I thought she was in it. Fandy Newton.
Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
God, there were so many actors in that.
Yeah, I remember him in it.
Yeah, that movie could have been called Convergence.
Fandy Newton, she's been in some interesting movies. Wow.
She had. Oh, remember how good she was in Westworld?
Oh my God, she made Westworld, I think.
Yeah, her and the lead, man.
Who was the lead of that?
There wasn't really a lead, but she kind of was the lead. Yeah. Oh God, she's right in my. I just was reading up about her. She went out with. Was in a relationship with Marilyn Manson for many years, and I was curious about that, which was very interesting.
Yeah, might have to look at Westworld again.
Yeah, I think I'm wanting to watch Westworld again.
Yeah.
It's disturbing. It's very disturbing, but in an interesting, educational way.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Teresa Mendoza. But yes, I think, well, like I told you yesterday, I watched about 5 episodes, and then I went to sleep right after watching, and the scenarios and the characters and everything was so vivid in my mind. I was in a half sleep state and half awake state for about 3-4 hours, and it's almost like I was living the story in my mind. It was so disturbing. And then I thought, it's funny because, like, for example, if let's say my mom or my sister said to me, oh yeah, I watched 5 episodes of this thing and then it was really disturbing and I couldn't sleep. The first thing I would say to them would be, you need to stop watching that, that's not good for you. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the obvious thing that we would say to someone we care about. Why are you watching that? Or you shouldn't be watching that before you go to bed, And then I
had the most awful dream last night after watching it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I had a terrible dream last night. Like, I was traveling and everything went wrong and I lost my luggage and I was like terrible. And then I woke up and I had, that's you go through that transition stage where you realize, oh shit, I was dreaming, And it's like, and then you almost like you make a decision. I'm going to move away from that reality into I'm lying in the bed reality, Oh God.
It's interesting. It's interesting because, yeah, even I know that for a long time my mom would always tell me, yeah, I'm having disturbing dreams. I'm having really disturbing dreams, and I'd be like, what are you watching? She always would watch something before she would go to sleep. And then she would tell me the titles of the things she was watching. I was like, oh my God, why are you watching that?
Like horror or something, is it?
No, just very, like, movies that had a lot of violence in them.
Oh, a lot of violence, yeah.
And so I would say to her, maybe you can watch something light. She says, no, don't worry. I always watch something light, like a documentary about animals, right before going to bed. She goes, no matter what I watch, I always watch that little thing before going to bed. I go, well, that doesn't really change anything because you're still having nightmares. And so for a long time, I used to really be completely perplexed about why she was doing that. And then I think that one day what I realized, I'm not sure what gave me this epiphany, but I realized that there's something in what she's watching that is feeding something in her, that is needing something, either the excitement from what she's watching, or there's something she's connecting to energetically in watching those things. And it's interesting, how sometimes it doesn't, like, you can think yourself until your head explodes, but what you really are needing is to have the experience yourself to understand another person. You know, and now I totally understand. I totally understand, because it's really just about some kind of need or greed inside of us that wants to know. We want to know. We want to know how a story is going to progress. We want to know what's going to happen. We're curious. We're excited by the story, you know?
That is fascinating. 'Cause, yeah, so it's like the suspense, and always these episodes, they tend to finish with something, what's going to happen? You know, they do it very well.
Yeah.
But something has been happening to me recently, which I don't think has ever happened before. I'm watching something really exciting, like Teresa Mendoza, or I've been watching these CIA type things, or these British, spy things, and whatever, and then science fiction and stuff like that. But if it's a series, very exciting, I find I can't take it anymore. I get to, sometimes it'll be like a 40-minute episode, and after 20 minutes, I'm full up. I don't want any more excitement. And I just stop there, turn it off. Or what I do is I'll try and find something completely different. But it's almost like I don't need any more consciousness. I'm full up of it. Excitement.
You're full up of it.
I've had enough. And I just stop. And that's never happened to me before.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I can understand that, because I have actually been watching less and less movies that have a lot of action when things are moving around a lot. I can't stand them anymore. I just can't watch them. And I was really into the Marvel movies, the superhero movies. I was really enjoying them for a while. And now I have zero desire to see them. Zero. I want things slow. I want things that are slow and methodical.
But you're watching Teresa Mendoza.
I am, and but it doesn't have that moving from one frame to the next really quickly.
Jerky.
It's not jerky. They still have conversations together. It's slow, like when Camila talks. She's got her slow voice, and she's very threatening, and it still has an element of they stretch it out to give you that feeling of tension.
You're right. This is very good. And also I was watching their what do you call it, cinematography, if that's what it is, and if they call it the same on TV. It seems to me to be very good. Their camera angles and the way they do conversations is beautifully done.
It is. It's really well done.
They're very artistic.
It's very engaging. It really engages you.
Yeah.
Because there are aspects of it that are a little I say cheesy, for lack of a better word. Sometimes they have the cheesy music playing in the background when there's an action scene, and it gets a little bit soap opera-y, a little bit, like a soap opera, a little cheesy. Are you getting what I'm saying, or not? Are you picking up what I'm putting down, or not, Dave?
No, I'm trying. I need an example, but
Let's just say there's a car chase, and they play the cheesy music in the background, And
I'm with you now. The car chase music.
It could take you out. It could take you out of it a little bit, and then you go, but it still keeps me super engaged. It's very interesting. Usually that's the kind of thing that would make me go, oh God, no. Now that just took me out of it. But I'm still saying engaged. It's really the characters. The character development is just awesome. It's really awesome.
Actually, one thing I liked going back is I forget, like, or maybe if you watch something again, it's can be I feel like, okay, I didn't see it the first time, or I didn't understand it that way. So you get that feeling that maybe there's something changed in me or something, I don't know. But this time I noticed a couple of things. Because I suppose I'm always curious how this so-called nice lady becomes a drug boss. But so here's a spoiler alert, everyone. If you want to watch it from the beginning, don't listen to the next 2 or 3 minutes. All right, try not to. Try not to. But there's all okay. All I can say is there's a moment in there where she's with her boyfriend Guero, where it is sort of something she does. When she picks up Guero's gun, it sort of explains. That's why she's doing this, because she actually. I'll say it without saying it. She actually enjoys the thrill,
Well, why wouldn't she?
Well, I'd never. Well, it's because it was.
She was a money changer in the streets of Culiacan. Of course, she loves excitement, Dave.
I can answer your question, Marilyn, because it's like the question. The theory seems to be about survival, maybe.
Yes.
Or helping her friends out. So so they don't die and things like that. So, but then there's another layer came. The way she picks up her boyfriend's gun and sort of plays with it, it's like, she gets excitement from this.
Yeah.
And the other thing I think is fantastic is in the first episode that when she's threatened, the drug lord's going to kill her, right?
Yeah. Which one?
I won't give it away. When he says, I'm gonna kill you, she says, well, you can, but I will hound you till the end of time. And how will that look for you?
I don't understand. You lost me.
He says, I'm gonna kill you. She says, you can, but I'll never let you go. I'll hound you forever. Even when I'm dead, I'm gonna hound you.
Oh, okay. Who did she say that to? I forgot.
Epifanio. I know it's there. I think.
She says, Epifanio, see. Oh, God, even the names are great.
I think we both missed it maybe the first time, but shit, that's amazing. So she's sort of saying in the spirit world, I'm going to hound you.
And we're like, listen to her because she means it.
And he backs away. He actually gets it. He says, okay. It's very interesting. So there's a concept about,
Oh my God! Everybody in that show has terrible karma. Talking about karma. Oh my God!
Oh, the karma! Yeah, wow.
Everyone's definitely being reborn in the hell realms, according to Buddhism.
Oh, that's right. Do you realize it's taken us 12 episodes to finally talk about TV?
I know.
It took us a long time.
I know. God, there's so many films and shows we could talk about. Yeah. I don't even know what this episode is going to come out like. What this is. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if we put this one.
Yeah, I'll put a spoiler alert in the intro at least.
What's the spoiler alert about?
That we might have given too much away about Teresa Mendoza.
Dave, that show's been out for so long. I think those who would have seen it have seen it.
Marilyn, I think that if anyone hears this who hasn't seen it, I have a hunch they might go and watch it. But
they might watch a quarter of an episode and go, "Oh my God, what were these guys thinking?"
Those two are nuts.
Those two are. I'm done with this podcast. Unfollow. Oh God. Okay. Well, maybe we can end this one because we don't want to make these too long. Or that's my presumption, but... And, yeah. What are you thinking?
Well, we should end it, and you're sinking lower and lower in your chair. So
Am
I think
I?
we should end pretty soon, yeah.
What about now?
And now I can't even see you. I could just see your butt sticking out, but that was all.
That's interesting. That'll be next episode. The butt episode. Okay. Well, let's leave this one. It's been nice. It's been real. And wow, this podcast is getting. I don't even know what direction we're going into here, but yeah, we'll save this one. We're gonna think twice about posting this one. let's reconsider. Let's reconsider.
I think we should definitely we should put this one out.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay. In the next podcast. Okay, Dave.
Okay, dear. See you around. Have a nice night at LA.
And you in Australia. Is that where you are? Yes, that is where you are. Okay, we'll talk soon. Bye, everyone.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.